My stepsister called my late mother's wedding dress ugly, so I uninvited her. Then she showed up at my wedding screaming that everyone favors me. My stepsister called my late mother's wedding dress ugly and said my mom had bad taste, so I uninvited her from my wedding. Then she showed up anyway and started screaming that everyone favors me over her. My mom died when I was 14, ovarian cancer. She fought for 2 years and then she was gone. Before she passed, she sat me on her bed and pointed to the closet. She said, "My wedding dress is in there. The day you get married, I want you to wear it. Even if it's old and out of style, wear it for me." I promised. I kept that dress in a garment bag through high school, through college, through every apartment I ever lived in. I never opened it until I got engaged. My dad remarried when I was 17. His wife Carol had a daughter my age named Bridget. Carol was fine. Not warm, not cold, just there. Bridget and I never bonded. She was loud and competitive and everything felt like a contest she had to win. If I got good grades, she needed better ones. If I bought a new outfit, she needed a nicer one. When my dad paid for my college tuition, Bridget demanded equal treatment even though her own mother could have helped. My dad paid for both of us just to keep the peace. When I got engaged to my fiancé Logan, I told my family I was going to wear my mother's dress. My dad got emotional. Carol smiled politely. Bridget didn't say anything at first. A week later, she came to my apartment to see the dress. I took it out of the garment bag carefully. It was a simple lace gown, long sleeves, modest neckline. My mom married my dad in 1998 and the style was classic. I held it up and my hands were shaking because this was the first time I'd really looked at it since she died. Bridget stared at it for about 5 seconds. Then she said, "That's it?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "It's kind of ugly. The lace looks cheap and the sleeves are weird. Your mom had bad taste." I put the dress down. My hands stopped shaking and went still. I looked at her. She was already scrolling her phone like she hadn't just insulted a dead woman's wedding dress to her daughter's face. "Get out." She looked up. "What?" "Get out of my apartment and don't come to the wedding." She laughed. "You're uninviting me over a dress?" "I'm uninviting you because you called my dead mother's dress ugly and said she had bad taste. You knew what this dress meant to me. You knew and you said it anyway." She tried to backtrack. "I was just being honest. It's an old dress. It's my mother's dress. She wore it on the most important day of her life and she asked me to wear it on mine. And you called it ugly." Bridget left. She told Carol I was being dramatic. Carol told my dad. My dad called me and asked if I'd reconsider. He said Bridget didn't mean it. He said it would cause problems at home if she wasn't invited. I said, "Dad, she insulted mom's dress." He went quiet. Then he said, "I know, that was wrong, but she's your stepsister. She's not my sister. She's Carol's daughter who lives in my dad's house. There's a difference." He didn't push it after that. The wedding was 4 months later. Logan and I got married at a small venue in the country. 60 people. I wore my mother's dress. My dad cried when he saw me. My aunt, my mom's sister, hugged me so tight I thought the lace might tear. Everyone who mattered was there. Bridget was not invited. She showed up anyway. Halfway through the reception, while Logan and I were doing our first dance, the doors opened and Bridget walked in wearing a white dress, to someone else's wedding. She stood in the middle of the room and started yelling. This is so typical. Everyone always picks her. Everyone always favors her over me. I can't even come to my own stepsister's wedding because she's still milking her dead mom for attention. The music stopped. Every person in the room turned to look at her. My aunt stood up from her chair. Logan stepped in front of me. My dad walked toward Bridget with a look I'd never seen on his face before. He grabbed her arm and said, "You need to leave, now." She pulled away. "Why? Because she's more important than me? Because she's your real daughter?" My dad said, "Because you just walked into her wedding in a white dress and insulted her mother. Yes, you need to leave." Carol was sitting at a table near the back. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She just stared at her plate like she wanted the floor to open up. 2 of Logan's groomsmen walked Bridget out. She was crying and yelling the whole way. The DJ started the music again. Logan took my hand and we finished our dance. My dad came up to me after and said, "I'm sorry. I should have handled this months ago." I said, "Yeah, you should have, but I'm not letting her ruin today. She already tried." My mother's dress held up beautifully. I danced in it all night. Every time I caught my reflection, I saw my mom. Bridget texted me the next morning. She said I ruined her reputation with the family. I didn't respond. Some people see someone else's wedding and only think about themselves. My mom would have hated that dress being called ugly, but she would have loved seeing me wear it anyway.